Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Radiant Central, and I'm your host Natasha St. Michael, and thank you so much for joining me. So recently I've been doing an experiment of trying to figure out a way to feel better in the morning, more bright, more alert, more refreshed first thing in the morning, because I'm not a morning person. I've never been one. It doesn't matter where I live, what the environment's like, or the season, or any of that. It's like I'm just one of those people that has always done better sleeping in. I like to stay up late at night doing things, and if I can, I prefer to sleep in. But as everyone knows, I had a daughter, Luna Ray, who was born about 14 months ago, and since then my whole life has been rearranged in many different ways, including when I go to sleep and when I wake up, right? And Luna Ray likes to wake up really early in the morning, and so I've had to kind of figure out how I can I can coexist with this, because that for me has been a challenge. And so I would say over the past 2 to 3 months I've been really doing a lot of experiments to figure out how can I feel better in the morning, how can I wake up with her and feel bright and cheery and ready to go, instead of thinking, oh, I wish I had another 2 or 3 hours of sleep and I better try and go to bed earlier tonight. And so one thing that I wanted to share today that's been working for me is cutting back on my evening meal 100%, and even sometimes cutting out my evening meal. I find that the earlier I eat my last meal of the day and not eat any snacks or anything like that in the evening, the better I feel in the morning. So, and the earlier I wake up naturally, and I wake up and I feel like ready, I feel alert, I feel energized, I feel refreshed, I feel restored and rejuvenated over the evening, and I feel like my sleep is much better. And in many ways I wake up hungry, and I think that's another thing that gets me like out of bed and ready to do things. So what I've been doing and what I want to share with everyone is I've been trying to either have a really early dinner and a light early dinner, or I've even been sort of cutting out the dinner and having a really late evening or late afternoon lunch. Okay, so it's kind of like, instead of having dinner at like 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock like how we kind of do it in my household, I've been having my dinner more around, I would say 4 or sometimes 3 or sometimes late as 5, and making it a substantial sort of late lunch, and then that's it, and then not eating for the rest of the evening. And if I do want something, maybe I'll have like a green juice or maybe a salad or a little bit of soup or something. But in general, I've been trying to kind of stick with having a big substantial late lunch as my sort of final meal of the day, and trying to do this as often as possible. Obviously I can't do this all the time, but the more I do it, the better I feel and the better rest I get. And then in the morning I wake up and I'm fully charged, and I feel energized and ready to go, and I'm able to naturally wake up earlier, and I would say even a few hours earlier than I normally would wake up. And so for me this has been a huge, like, significant change. And so I want to share this because in case there's someone out there that is trying to kind of rearrange their clock, or they need to rearrange their clock, and they're not a morning person, but they'd rather be a morning person so they can get more done, or they have responsibilities early in the morning, and they're trying to be able to feel good in the morning to be able to do what they need to be doing. And so experiment with it. Experiment with either cutting back on your dinner, or pushing it back a little bit so that you're not eating too late, but you're having your dinner earlier, and cut out the evening snacks, and see how that affects your sleep. Because you might see just how I did, that if you do it regularly and consistently, it does have a big effect. And I also want to mention too that for those that are trying to lose weight, this is also a really good way of losing weight, because you're going through a longer stretch of time without eating, and a lot of times people eat sort of more food than they need in the evening. So if you kind of cut out the snacking and stuff, this can help you lose weight. And for someone that doesn't want to lose weight, and they're fearful of that if they cut back on their evening meal that it's gonna make them lose weight, my suggestion is to increase what you're eating throughout the day. And that's what I've been doing, is that I have cut back on my dinner, but I've been having a much more substantial breakfast, and I eat pretty much, I would say, that within the first half an hour of waking up, because I'm hungry, and that's what's waking me up in the morning and giving me and making me alert, is that I wake up and I'm ready to go, I'm ready to eat, I'm ready to get on with things. So how I've been kind of compensating with the lack of food at night is by having more for breakfast and having more throughout the day. So there is a way of finding a balance with it where it can either help you if you need to lose weight, or it can help you to maintain your weight if you don't want to be losing. Okay, and you can still enjoy all the benefits of having a real deep restful sleep and waking up early. All right, so that's my tip of the day. And I just want to mention too that the next 7-day Whole Food Challenge, it starts this coming Monday, December 15th. If you want to join, 7 days of eating 100% real food diet. It's a great way of getting off of processed food, off of the sugar, off of all the addicted junk food and all that kind of stuff. If you want to join us, it's an online program. It's done as a group. You can go to my website at radiantcentral.com, click on products, and you'll see more information there. And I just want to mention too that I won't be uploading videos over just the next week because we're going to Lombok, Indonesia, and it'll be too difficult to be doing that. So more videos to come after this week. So I will see you guys in about a week. All right, have a super fabulous day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.